First thing about changing knives on any piece of machinery or blades, always make sure your power's off. These things have a tendency to be able to take off a finger very easily. With the jointer, there's no finger to reattach. Just choose it up and that's it. Saw, you may save it. A jointer, not a chance. So, I'm going to move on to the next knife now. I'll show you how this is done from a different angle here. I'll loosen off all the 4 screws that keep it clamped in there. You see, I'm not actually going to pull this all the way out until I get the new one in position to go in. It's just easier that way. Now on the back side of the knife, from the tapered edge, from this edge, on the face here, on this face, I've actually got about 1/8 of an inch sticking up above the drum, and I'm just going to loosely tighten the end ones. You don't want them too tight because you want to be able to adjust that knife down. So what I do is I usually snug it to the point where I feel it snug up, and then I back it off just a hair. Then again, I position the first knife at one end of the new knife, and I position the second one at this end. And once more, I'm going to use my screwdriver to tap on the sharp edge. Now, if you notice it's not moving very easily, it's probably because the screw is too tight. So I'm going to back this one off just a little bit. Some of the screws on this jointer are a little bit cross-threaded, so they're a bit tight. And here I'll try and position this in such a way that you can see. Can you see that? And I can see the light. A slim little line of light underneath the knife. The knife still wiggles just a little bit, but I'm almost there. Now the knife isn't moving. I don't see the light there anymore. Get height, at the apex of its rising point, it appears as though it almost touches the knife, but you can't actually see the gap by eye. Oh, however, I'm going to have probably a bit of a problem with this one because the other end is dropped on its own. Well, still looks pretty good. Challenge here now, we've got to raise this end up just enough so that the knife is above the height of the outfeed table. And I can hear a rubbing, so and there, the sound is gone. And yet, again, the clearance between the knife that's marking level with the outfeed table appears to be almost touching. I can't make out the clearance with my naked eye, so it's obviously really fine. I mean, I don't need glasses or anything, but the finer that adjustment, the better. That's what will determine whether you get a good, clean, smooth cut. Now, I'm going to tighten up my middle screws a little bit. I think I've got one that's actually stripped there. I'll do my end ones. Oh, that's the stripped one. And I'm going to work my way back and forth across them, just tightening them up a little at a time. That way the pinch of each individual screw isn't going to throw the knife out of alignment. Once again, I'm going to check each side. And it moved a slight bit, so looks like I might have to just back these two off and see if I can move it. Just enough. Okay, I don't hear it scraping again. The other key why this is so important and to keep the clearance so fine is because if you don't, there's not a lot of clearance. Sorry. There's not a lot of clearance between the head and the underside of the outfeed table. And if you happen to have those knives sitting too high, the other thing is to make sure the ends are clear between here. And when you get all three in, you rotate the head by hand first. Hear whether it rubs on anything, and if it sounds clear, then you can just go ahead with it.